kind of have a belief about suspense. It's the anticipation of the scare that's kind of better than the scare itself.
We had a very short schedule to work with. So when you're dealing with special effects, there's always go, go, go. There's not a lot of sitting around in your trailer for anything, which I like to work that way.
It's always my goal whenever I approach a project to show them something that they've never seen before.
That's our goal, is to have a good time and make a good action film.
Action!
You can grab some bits and pieces too.
The Ice Cream Man was definitely about him being preternatural or supernatural and in a way that was hopefully very disturbing for the audience when they see it, with these elongated arms and elongated legs and this very spidery type of character that's all stretched out.
The Ice Cream Man, the great Doug Jones, the most elastic man on the planet. He's just incredible. Doug, who's been mostly unrecognizable in movies of late because he's usually covered in some kind of prosthetics.
Doug was the guy to do it. So we cast his arms and his legs, and we created sort of an elongated set of legs that come off of his hips.
My own leg is going to be put into a green screen colored leotard I'm wearing a shoe, and I've got the costume that comes down to my hips. With a fake prosthetic leg that is way long here, way long there, and so I'm wearing a leg between my foot and my hip that's much longer than my own leg, with a knee joint in it, and so I basically operate the entire thing. So the only CG you'll be seeing is it's not a computer-generated leg, but a computer-wiped-out leg of mine, basically, that they're going to be taking that away with visual effects.
We've grown his arms out with silicone extensions inside of fiberglass shells. So he kind of runs around on these long hands and extremely long legs.
And the arms are a simple thing of I'll be sticking my hands with KY jelly. That's always my favorite thing. I lube it up and stick it into this silicone arm. And then that has an extended arm on it with my hand way down here somewhere. So, and then they're very strong, so I can get down on them and run on all fours.
We've also elongated his face.
And like I do this kind of a thing and my jaw drops down to where a human can't drop their jaw.
Hopefully we come up with a really memorable and original, iconic little piece of film villainy there for everyone to enjoy.
The guys at Optic Nerve that created this look for me, they only had so much time back in Los Angeles to do fittings with me. So we did like a very preliminary fitting there, then they had to come here and start the film. So I just yesterday put on the finished pieces, and thank heaven it all worked wonderfully. People often ask, like, how do you prepare for these crazy roles that you play? Because I'm often in some kind of a crazy costume or something, an otherworldly creature even. And I go to my 24-hour fitness gym, and after the aerobics classes are done for the day, late at night, I'll use that whole wooden dance floor with the mirrors, and I'll do whatever I have to do in front of those mirrors to kind of create this character.
I literally saw him walking from the trailer with his entire suit on, and that thing freaked me out. It was way early in the morning. I had just woken up, I just got to work, and I was just like, what a hell of a film, man.
I knew that I had to be down and get strong in a squatted-legged, hands and feet position. So in the mirror, I would run back and forth with different postures, different, sidewindery sort of thing, going sideways, going straight forward, going backward, just so I could get the strength and the familiarity with being on all fours and making it look like this is just organic for me. Speaking of organic, I'm getting all my minerals right now.
Doug Jones and his interesting costume. The neat thing about that was the look of it. And what has to happen is when his jaw opens and he starts running towards the characters, Ice Cream Man has to leap into the air, and then we have to blast him with the guns. He has to fall back, and what we have to take into account is the costume. Is it safe for him to fly into the air, fall back to the ground without something hitting him and causing an injury? So we rehearse it first without the costume to see if it's the look that we want, and then we put the costume on and slowly build up to full speed.
Oh shit!
Get ready.
I thought that the animatronic baby was a real baby at first. Because it was like, it was making a sound and it was moving its face and stuff like that. I was like, oh my God, what's his name? And they're like, it's fake. I was like, what? Why? How?
We've done so many of these gags over the years with Larry O'Dean, who's just a master mechanic. I went to Larry immediately when we started work on the show, and I really wanted that baby to work well. The amount of baby work that there was to be done here, I knew that we were going to get a lot of play out of this, so we really tried to push that as far as we could. Larry gave it all of these wonderful mechanized motions, its eyes and its nose and its lips and its mouth, and they're all on separate servos, and so it's incredibly articulate for a mechanical baby.
I'm Larry O'Dean, and I work for Optic Nerve. I'm in charge of the mechanical effects within the company. And they had said that there were going to be real babies on the set, but you know how that goes sometimes. They're always full of surprises, and so we used this guy quite a bit. Did stunts with it.
Action!
He has a few gashes, but he keeps ticking. This particular one has 6 different points of movement. The head right and left, up, down, all your neck movements. Also a mouth movement, a little bit of puckering, the eyes, the blinks, eyes right and left. The biggest change with the servos are the magnets. Magnets have evolved so much through the years, so you have more power from them, and batteries, of course, that's the biggest breakthrough in our industry. Smaller and have the same amount of juice, and it even lasts longer. And the transmitters themselves continually evolve. You have mixing capabilities. It allows you to mix 3, 4, 5, even 12 motors off of one direction on this joystick, which helps you a lot as a puppeteer. You're not sitting there trying to move all these joysticks. You know that you're going to make this mouth go to an O or an E or something just by one little sweep of the joystick. We have 6 different movements. He has neck right and left, and then up and down, and then a mouth movement. And then he has a puckering ability with his mouth. And then the eye movement, he has not only right and left, but he has up and down. And that's really effective when the eyes are closed. It's almost like he's having a dream or something. You see this tracking going on underneath the lids, as though he's thinking and dreaming about something.
Gladys is one of my favorite characters because Jeanette, the actress, is just hilarious. She's hysterical, and to see like the word cunt come out of her mouth is just maybe the funniest thing I've ever seen. She's a sweet old lady, like, you know, so nice and everything, and like screaming all these obscene words and going nuts.
You will never save her.
And the scariest with all the makeup and the teeth.
And action.
This old lady turns into this sort of ferocious thing and bites a guy and takes a big chunk out of his neck and then gets hit in the head with a frying pan. She sort of disappears from the frame and then slowly rises up, and there's a bone sticking out of her cheek and she's got blood coming out, and it's an 86-year-old lady, and you're sort of looking at it going, oh God, she's just pissed. And she comes roaring across the diner, and tables and chairs go flying, and then she crawls right up the wall and up to the ceiling, and she's sticking to the ceiling like some kind of insect. And of course, that's where we get very Exorcist-y.
So I would be going like this, right?
Yeah. Yeah, right.
So I would be going, okay, so.
Okay, let me see.
Okay. Action! Okay, cut. Yeah.
Well, this has been the most collaborative process that I've ever been involved with. Possessed have been handled primarily by the straight makeup department, the wonderful artists that they are, with the exception of a character here and there. Gladys was something that we tackled.
The makeup is done by both Glenn and Richard. They're experts at it. And the makeup does go farther. Most of it's off now, but the black around the eyes, and this is, my jaw gets broken, so this is the jawbone.
Action!
All of this is supposed to be blood around my mouth because I bite a man.
3, 2, 1, back!
And of course you can see that my teeth change.
There are certain lead characters like Gladys that got their own set of dentures. So we actually take an alginate impression of the teeth, just like a dentist would if they were going to make dentures. And then we designed the teeth around that. We sculpted them.
They work pretty well because they made a cast and they just hook right onto my teeth. So yes, it isn't easy to articulate.
You'll never save her! You'll never save her! You'll never save her!
We had gone through all of these different versions of sharp teeth and small teeth and large teeth and crooked teeth, and finally we came to this conclusion that these baby teeth were really creepy, and Scott was happy with them.
All right, here we go. Quiet, please. We are rolling.
Especially when you see them on Gladys, you go, yeah, it's spooky, you know, it's unsettling.
I don't eat with them, man. I had to go to Richard and Glenn's shop where they made a cast of my head, my neck, and my shoulder.
Gladys does this crazy thing and runs across the ceiling, and she's sticking to the ceiling like some kind of insect. Doing that involved a bunch of different things. First, it was storyboarded.
What did you just say? I said your fucking baby's gonna burn. Go to hell, Amy.
What happened?
All those little babies are gonna burn.
Oh.
Gladys, shut up, you stupid fucking cunt. All you do is complain, complain, complain.
What did you just say? I don't know who the hell you think you are, but I'd like you to apologize for my wife.
Then we did 3D pre-visualization of the sequence. I really wanted it to feel like she was really up there and that we were down on the ground looking and the camera was going all over the place and people were in the frame. And then John Medlin and his crew would take over with the stunt people, and there was a stunt woman that was dressed up as the Gladys character, and she was on rails and wires on the ceiling.
3, 2, 1, go!
We were real excited to do the action for the Gladys sequence because we knew that there was wire work involved and we had to build a track, and the set was designed based on what we had to do with Gladys climbing on a ceiling.
3, 2, 1, go!
Every scene in this movie has some sort of gag, whether it's special effects, visual effects, some crazy prop being used, or a stunt.
3, 2, 1, go!
So the challenging part of that, it was to not cheat it and do an upside down piece, or have our stunt person run on the ground. So we had to build these tracks and connect them to the ceiling piece, rehearse with our stunt person, and pull her along as if she's running like a creepy crawly crab.
You saw me on the ceiling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to do that, and I was glad to do it. A very strange feeling laying there, and your head is going completely back in order to talk to one of the other actors. It's uncomfortable, yes.
Action! Okay, cut. Cut. Okay, it's recorded?
Okay.
All right.